Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm Darkbloom and today we're going to be talking about Payday 3. So I was finally able to play enough Payday 3 to get an opinion on it, and I went back and played some Payday 2 while the servers were down, and my opinions aren't very good of Payday 3. I'm just going to say it right now. I am not happy with this game. I'm actually severely disappointed, and it goes a little beyond the server issues as well. There's a lot with this game that is just missing from Payday 2, which, may I remind you, is an Xbox 360 game. So, yeah, I get it, it's been updated throughout the years, but the game was originally a 360 game. It was a PS3, Xbox 360 generation game. With that being said, Payday 2 launched with so much more content than Payday 3 could even dream of. And we're going to be talking about that and some other issues I have with Payday 3 because honestly, I don't see a real excuse for this. The server issues, yeah, that's, you know, par for the course nowadays. But after you actually get into the game and stuff like that, it's missing a bunch of stuff. There is no crime net. There's no safe houses or vault. There's only 8 heists in Payday 3 at launch, while Payday 2 had 12 heists. There's no multiple day heist. It's rough. Now, I understand Payday 2 has like 30,000 DLCs, but guess what? Payday 3 is going to have 30,000 DLCs in about a year or two anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's going down the same path. Instead, this time, we got way less content at the release of the game. And we couldn't even play the game. There's no offline mode. You have to play on their servers. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is where a major issue has arose, where no one can play the game since pretty much the release of the game. Payday 3 servers are just dead. Starbreeze has been scrambling around their offices, patting each other on the back when they get it up for an hour, just for it to go down another 2 hours later. So, I don't understand what's happening at their studio. What is going on over there? The Payday franchise is a one-of-a-kind franchise. There is almost no other game that captures the fun of robbing a bank like Payday does. It is the core gameplay loop, is heisting and robbing people and stuff like that. And it's fun. It's a really fun gameplay loop that has kept people playing Payday 2 for more than 10 years. Now, I'm sure Payday 3 is going to be an amazing game a year or two down the line, but today we're going to be talking about Payday 3 today, not a year down the road or two. We are talking about it today. So grab your drink, get a nice cool glass of water, and let's talk about Payday 3, guys, because this is probably going to be one of my more negative videos, unfortunately. So here we go. Booting up Payday 3, you get that excitement flowing through your bones, you get that heist energy going in your veins, and then you're greeted with this boring ass menu. Something that looks ripped straight from Call of Duty or Hulu. This is just boring. What is this? There's no crime net, no vault, safe houses, or anything like that. You literally got these basic tabs up here, and they don't really go to anywhere. Let me show you. Let's explore the menu, guys. Come on. And real quick, just to remind everyone, this is Payday 2 menu. This is Payday's 2 menu. Look at all this. Yeah, I don't know, man. Payday 3 fucked up. How I'm going to structure this is we're going to talk about the menus, the heists, the weapons, etc. Okay, so this is the heist menu. There is no crime net, world map, or anything like that. It is a basic ass streaming service menu, and it's boring. The two little things in the middle are just cutscenes that look like Redfall. These are Redfall cutscenes. I dislike these so much. I don't like them. I'm sorry. If you want to captivate me with your storyline, you gotta give me cutscenes that I can actually get into. These moving pictures with animated elements aren't gonna do it for me. And that's the case here. It doesn't really pull me in. The heists in Payday 2 and the story in Payday 2 seem to pull you in even without cutscenes. I don't know how they managed to kind of fuck that up, but they did here. The menu just screams corporate bullshit. I don't know. It's just boring, man. This is just boring. So the heists are the bigger images and the cutscenes are the smaller ones. Okay, moving on to loadouts. Here's a loadout menu. Not much to it. Your skills are very different from Payday 2. They're lined up like this and you can research others and then upgrade the line as you go. As you can see here, I have a couple of them in the works. But guess what? Most of them are fucking useless anyways. Basically, you buy a skill point in one main one and then you'll level up that as you play. It's kind of like a little progression system, very bare bones. And not much to it to that. Here's your weapon menu. You can buy more weapons. I'm not leveled up that much because the game barely works. So pretty much all your vendors and shops are allocated to these small tabs under the bigger tabs. So for this tab, we got the mask. And honestly, the mask design in this game is pretty cool. I like these masks a lot. And you can unlock some pretty cool ones. Here's a clothing shop. There's nothing interesting about these clothes. They're honestly all boring looking. You got gloves here. And you know, you got paints for everything and patterns you can put on them. Sorry, I didn't scroll that far down the first time, but you know, some nice little tune-ups and customization options for whatever they give you, which isn't much. And then here you got whatever the fuck C-Stacks is. You can use these to buy pre-built weapons pretty much, or charms. That's all the use I've found for it so far. And yep, this is your shops. Yippee fucking yay, man. I'm not a big fan of the menu. I don't know if that's clear yet or not. Moving on. Now, customization in Payday 3 is probably one of the better aspects of the game. You can get different color patterns on your weapons. Masks, you can get different patterns and color them as well. It's really well done. I'm happy with the customization. It's a shiny spot in a pile of shit, and I'm really happy that I at least can customize my gun to make it look like a fucking Christmas ornament. Let's talk about the heists, because I'm gonna be honest, the heists in Payday 3 are really good. The heists are pretty much the only thing about the game I actually like, so I'm not gonna spoil all of them, because if you play this game, that's gonna be the only reason you play is for the heists, because they're kind of fucking cool. I will say there's one objective in every heist that is overdone, and that's running to these circles and just standing there. It's in almost every heist. In Payday 2, the subtasks inside of a mission were so much more interesting than they are in Payday 3, but the overall heists in Payday 3 have a lot of creativity to them. I just wish the the subtasks inside of the mission were just way more interesting, because running to these circles in every other mission when you only have 8 heists at launch gets old quick. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. You only have 8 heists at launch, and when the game works, you can beat all of them within 3 hours. So yeah, that's Payday 3 is 3 hours of content before you're doing it over again at higher difficulties. I will say the difficulties, like scaling, is really good in Payday 3, but that's, you know, kind of a small plus and a big pile of poop. So the thing is, in Payday 3, there is no multiple day heist, it's just one solid day. It seems like the entire concept of Payday has been taken out of Payday 3. This game is extremely hard ass for $40. $40 is not worth this package of heists that you can beat within 3 hours. Yes, within 3 hours you can go through it all. Literally the only thing holding you back is server issue. There's also this really annoying glitch that happens where you cannot ready up. I've read online that it has to do with, you know, the level not loading fast enough, but let me tell you what, I have a pretty decent PC. I tried it on an SSD, another SSD, an SD card, and hard drive. It's literally all the same. Half the time I can't ready up until like a minute or two later, and by then the whole lobby's already gone and I'm playing by myself. So the matchmaking in this game is absolute fucking dog shit. Bring back Payday 2 matchmaking. It's like the developers laid Payday down as an IP and gave it a vasectomy. It's been exactly 10 years since Payday 2 has released. Now I understand Payday 2 went through like hell or so. The developers traded the IP a couple times, got it back. Honestly, it's a whole story that I don't know about and I'll have to research more. But it doesn't matter, because how has it been 10 years and the sequel to a pretty much cult classic video game is as bare bones as can be. It just feels like an insult. I don't know. This game, it just feels wrong in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of people like praise the shooting and movement and gunplay, but I'm gonna be a naysayer here and say I much rather enjoy the gunplay in Payday 2 to some extent. I don't like the annoying hit marker noises. I don't like the hit markers. I wish there was an option for that, because Payday 2 didn't have that. And also, the police are a little bit more spongy than they are in Payday 2. It's less satisfying to actually kill enemies in Payday 3. It's just way less satisfying. And I know these are personal gripes that you might not have, but I have them, and that's that. To me, it feels like Starbreeze took every corner possible and cut it right at the jugular. It's just an empty feeling game, and it really upsets me. Because Payday itself is an amazing IP with an amazing foundation that they somehow fucked up. Nearly every change they made to the Payday formula in Payday 3 I dislike. I like the overkill weapons, I don't like how you can only get 2 of them, and I don't like the new perk system, I don't like matchmaking, I don't like the bare bones menu, I don't really like the gunplay, the graphics are crisp, I love the graphics, and I don't like the characters. I mean, for some reason we got Ice-T here. Why is he here? Oh, that's right. Clout, I don't know, fuck. That being said, Ice-T is probably my favorite character in the game, so there's that. There are some pluses to the revision of the Payday formula, I guess you would say, because they are really trying to cut out all that bullshit mini microtransaction crap. Like in Payday 2, you can get Steam item skins like CSGO, you can unlock random ass items at the end of a heist like a loot box, but it's not a loot box. It's basically called a payday, haha, get it? Yeah, Payday 3 don't have the paydays in it, but at the end of a heist, you get to pick a card, one of the 3, and you get an item from that, whether it be a mask, a gun part, a gun camo, money, XP, you get stuff from it. Yeah, that's all missing from Payday 3, and I'm not entirely sure if it's good or not. It just makes the game feel more empty. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of the huge predatory microtransaction things, but Payday 2 kind of had it set up as a reward system more than microtransactions. And not having that reward system in Payday 3, it just makes it feel like you're not getting as much as you were in the older games. It just feels like everything you do isn't worth much in Payday 3. And if you don't do the right challenges, you might not even get XP. So it's all sorts of fucked up. In conclusion, I'm very disappointed with Payday 3. I think they need to go back to the drawing board for another year and completely revisit this whole game and rebuild it from the ground up. I know they're not going to do that, but they need some major improvements. Yes, new content will fix, you know, only having 8 heists and be able to beat it in 3 hours. But there's a lot of fundamentals to the game itself that need to be addressed, and I hope they do that in a timely manner, because right now this game's abysmal and I want to gouge my eyes out every time I look at it in my Steam library. So that's pretty much all I have. Hopefully you're enjoying Payday 3 more than I am, but I think I'm just going to stick to Payday 2 for now. Whosever idea it was to have online only was a fucking mistake. You should be fired. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like and a subscribe, and yeah guys, I'll see you in the next one, whatever that may be.